Welcome to our countdown of the top 5 scariest events that occurred on Friday the 13th, a day steeped in superstition and dread. Throughout history, this ominous date has been associated with misfortune and calamity. Join us as we unravel chilling tales that have left lasting impressions on history, sending shivers down the spines of those who encountered them. Number 5. The murder of Kitty Genovesi. Our countdown begins with a horrifying crime that shocked the nation: the brutal murder of Kitty Genovesi in New York City. Despite her desperate cries for help, witnesses failed to intervene as she was stabbed to death outside her apartment building. This tragic incident brought to light the bystander effect, revealing the complexities of human behavior in times of crisis. Kitty Genovesi's murder occurred in the early hours of March 13, 1964, in the quiet neighborhood of Kew Gardens, Queens. As she returned home from work, she was attacked by Winston Moseley, a serial rapist and murderer. Despite her screams for help, neighbors ignored her pleas, assuming it was a domestic dispute or drunken brawl. Moseley eventually fled the scene, leaving Kitty to die alone on the street. The murder of Kitty Genovesi sparked outrage and disbelief across the country. How could so many people stand by and do nothing while a young woman was brutally attacked? The case prompted extensive media coverage and became a symbol of urban apathy and the failure of bystanders to intervene in situations of emergency. Psychologists and sociologists studied the phenomenon, leading to the development of the bystander effect theory, which posits that individuals are less likely to offer help in the presence of others. In the years following Kitty Genovesi's murder, her name became synonymous with the bystander effect, serving as a cautionary tale of the dangers of indifference and inaction. The incident led to changes in law enforcement procedures and the development of bystander intervention training programs aimed at empowering individuals to take action in emergencies. While Kitty's life was tragically cut short, her legacy continues to inspire efforts to promote empathy, compassion, and social responsibility. 4. The Buckingham Palace bombing attempt. In fourth place, we have the brazen attempt to assassinate Queen Elizabeth II at Buckingham Palace. On September 13, 1974, a bomb planted by the Provisional Irish Republican Army, IRA, exploded in the palace gardens during a state banquet. While the Queen and her guests escaped unharmed, the incident underscored the ever-present threat of terrorism and led to heightened security measures. The Buckingham Palace bombing attempt sent shockwaves across the United Kingdom and prompted a massive manhunt for those responsible. The IRA claimed responsibility for the attack, citing their ongoing campaign for Irish independence as justification. The incident fueled tensions between the British government and Republican paramilitary groups, exacerbating the conflict in Northern Ireland. In the aftermath of the bombing attempt, security measures at Buckingham Palace and other royal residences were significantly increased to prevent further attacks. The incident also prompted a reassessment of the security protocols surrounding royal engagements and official events, ensuring the safety of the royal family and their guests. 3. The Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571. Taking the third spot on our countdown is the harrowing crash of Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571 in the Andes Mountains. Stranded for 72 days in treacherous terrain, the survivors faced extreme cold, hunger, and the specter of death. Their incredible tale of resilience and survival against all odds became one of the most chilling stories of human endurance in history. On October 13, 1972, Flight 571 was en route from Montevideo, Uruguay, to Santiago, Chile, when it crashed into the remote Andes Mountains due to severe weather conditions. Of the 45 passengers and crew members on board, only 16 survived the initial impact. Stranded at an altitude of over 11,000 feet, the survivors faced freezing temperatures, avalanches, and starvation. As days turned into weeks, the survivors resorted to desperate measures to stay alive. They huddled together for warmth, melted snow for drinking water, and rationed what little food they had salvaged from the wreckage. In a stunning act of bravery, 2 of the survivors embarked on a perilous journey across the mountains to seek help, ultimately leading to the rescue of their comrades. The eventual discovery and rescue of the survivors captured the world's attention and became a symbol of human resilience and the will to survive against all odds. The ordeal of Flight 571 remains one of the most harrowing survival stories of the 20th century, reminding us of the strength that lies within each of us when faced with life's greatest challenges. 2. The Costa Concordia disaster. In second place, we have the tragic sinking of the Costa Concordia cruise ship off the coast of Italy on January 13, 2012. Striking a rock near the island of Giglio, the massive vessel capsized, leading to the deaths of 32 passengers and crew members. The haunting images of the partially submerged ship served as a sobering reminder of the fragility of human life in the face of disaster. The Costa Concordia disaster unfolded in the waters of the Tyrrhenian Sea, just off the coast of Giglio, Italy. As the luxury cruise ship made its way through the Mediterranean, it deviated from its intended course, sailing perilously close to the island's rocky shores. In a catastrophic turn of events, the ship struck a submerged rock, tearing a massive gash in its hull and causing it to list dangerously to one side. Amidst scenes of chaos and confusion, passengers and crew members scrambled to evacuate the sinking vessel. Some were able to escape in lifeboats or swim to shore, while others found themselves trapped on board as the ship rapidly filled with water. Despite the heroic efforts of rescue teams, dozens of lives were lost in the disaster, and the wreckage of the Costa Concordia became a grim reminder of the human cost of maritime tragedy. As the search and recovery operation unfolded in the days and weeks following the disaster, investigators sought to determine the cause of the accident and hold those responsible to account. Captain Francesco Schettino, who was at the helm of the Costa Concordia at the time of the collision, faced intense scrutiny and legal proceedings for his actions leading up to and following the disaster. His reckless behavior and disregard for maritime safety protocols were cited as contributing factors to the tragedy, highlighting the need for improved training and oversight within the cruise industry. The sinking of the Costa Concordia sent shockwaves through the global cruise industry and prompted a re-evaluation of safety procedures and emergency response protocols. The incident served as a sobering reminder of the potential consequences of human error and negligence in high-risk environments, prompting calls for greater accountability and vigilance to prevent similar disasters in the future. 1. The Black Friday Bushfires. Topping our countdown is the catastrophic Black Friday bushfires that ravaged Australia on January 13, 1939. With 71 lives lost and thousands of homes destroyed, this deadly inferno left a trail of devastation across Victoria and South Australia. The ferocity of the flames and the scale of the destruction marked this tragic event as one of the darkest days in Australian history. The Black Friday bushfires were fueled by extreme heat, dry conditions, and strong winds, creating the perfect storm for a disaster of such magnitude. As temperatures soared and tinder-dry vegetation ignited, the fires quickly spread out of control, engulfing entire communities in a matter of minutes. Thousands of firefighters and volunteers battled the inferno, but their efforts were hampered by the sheer scale and intensity of the blazes. In the aftermath of the bushfires, the affected communities were left reeling from the loss of lives, homes, and livelihoods. The devastation was unprecedented, with entire towns reduced to smoldering ruins and vast tracts of land scorched beyond recognition. The Black Friday bushfires forever altered the landscape of Victoria and South Australia, leaving scars that would take decades to heal. The legacy of the Black Friday bushfires continues to resonate in Australia's collective memory, serving as a somber reminder of the destructive power of nature and the importance of preparedness and resilience in the face of natural disasters. The lessons learned from the tragedy have informed bushfire management practices and prompted ongoing efforts to mitigate the risks of future catastrophes.